They consider them
Mr. President,
dangerous
that's not what it
documents.
says,
Those are the people we're dealing with.
and I should note that there is a special counsel investigating your document situation, also President Biden's document situation. When it comes to your documents, did you ever show those classified documents to anyone?
Not really. I would have the right to. By the way, they were declassified
What do you mean, not really?
after. Not that I can think of. Let me just tell you, I have the absolute right to do whatever I want with them. I have the right. I was negotiating with NARA. Do you know what NARA is?
The National Archives.
Extremely left group of
them.
people. Extremely left. And I was negotiating with them.
Not
All of a
left,
sudden,
they're
they
bipartisan.
raided my house. They didn't raid the house of Joe Biden. They didn't raid Obama.
But Joe Biden didn't ignore a subpoena to get those documents back like
Joe
you
Biden
did. And so
took
That was from May in the so-called CNN town hall. Donald Trump talking about the classified documents that he unlawfully took. I'm Ben Meiselas. This is the MeidasTouch Network. We are now learning with a bombshell report on Friday, December 15, 2023, that a binder containing highly classified information relating to Russian election interference went missing at the end of the Trump presidency, raising alarms among intelligence officials that some of the most closely guarded national security secrets from the U.S. and its allies could be exposed. Sources familiar with the matter told CNN. Here is the headline by CNN: "The Mystery of the Missing Binder. How a collection of raw Russian intelligence disappeared under Trump." I would reframe that headline slightly and say raw Russian intelligence disappeared under Donald Trump while he praises Vladimir Putin and threatens our alliances with NATO and across the world. Where do you think the documents went, CNN? Where did you think they may be going, huh? And why isn't this a bigger story? And why is it being treated like a Scooby-Doo episode versus a treasonous, traitorous act by Donald Trump and the other traitors that worked with him? Let's go through this article a little bit more. Sorry, I'm getting angry there because it is so obvious. Let's go on more. Its disappearance, which has not been previously reported, was so concerning that intelligence officials briefed Senate Intelligence Committee leaders last year about the missing materials and the government's efforts to retrieve them, sources said. In the 2+ years since Trump left office, the missing intelligence does not appear to have been found. I don't know who done it. Who could have done it? Where could it go? Let's get Scooby-Doo to the rescue right here. Goes on to say, the binder contained raw intelligence the U.S. and its NATO allies collected on Russians and Russian agents, including sources and methods that informed the U.S. government's assessment that Russian President Vladimir Putin sought to help Trump win the election in 2016, sources tell CNN. Oh, well, who was in the Oval Office? I don't know. Were Vladimir Putin's 2 top deputies in the Oval Office mocking the United States of America and laughing at us as one of Donald Trump's first acts? Did Donald Trump have secret meetings with them without the press present, but allowed their translator to be there? Oh, did all of that take place before our very eyes and the Republican Party's freaking okay with it? Yeah, I seem to recall that. It says, the intelligence was so sensitive that lawmakers and congressional aides with top security clearances were able to review the material only at CIA headquarters in Langley, Virginia, where their work scrutinizing it was kept in a locked safe. The binder was last seen at the White House during Trump's final days in office. The former president had ordered it be brought there so he could declassify a host of documents related to the FBI's Russia investigation. Under the care of then White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows, the binder was scoured by Republican aides working to redact the most sensitive information so it could be declassified and released publicly. I don't know. Saying under the care of Mark Meadows seems internally inconsistent there, but Go on, CNN. The Russian intelligence was just a small part of the collection of documents in the binder, described as being 10 inches thick and containing reams of information about the FBI's Crossfire Hurricane investigation into the 2016 Trump campaign in Russia. But the raw intelligence on Russia was among its most sensitive classified materials. And top Trump administration officials repeatedly tried to block the former president from releasing the documents. The day before leaving office, Trump issued an order declassifying most of the binder's contents, setting off a flurry of activity in the final 48 hours of his presidency. Multiple copies of the redacted binder were created inside the White House with plans to distribute them across Washington to Republicans in Congress and right-wing journalists. Instead, copies initially sent out were frantically retrieved at the direction of White House lawyers demanding additional redactions. Just minutes before Joe Biden was inaugurated, Meadows rushed to the Justice Department to hand-deliver a redacted copy for a last review. Years later, the Justice Department has yet to release all of the documents, despite Trump's declassification order. Additional copies with varying levels of redactions ended up at the National Archive, but an unredacted version of the binder containing the classified raw intelligence went missing. It went missing, everybody. It went missing amid the chaotic final hours of the Trump White House. The circumstances surrounding the disappearance remain shrouded in mystery, CNN says. You're so close to getting it, but let's be strong here and let's just call it what it is. Okay? The fact that these documents were there with Donald Trump, who praises Vladimir Putin, and then it suddenly disappeared as Donald Trump's aides were trying to prevent him from declassifying it, and he has previously stolen classified documents before, and there are videos of him taking it in his plane, and of course all of the documents are not necessarily accounted for right now. I wonder, and by the way, in normal political times, this would be the biggest story ever historically. But no, the legacy media wants to focus on Hunter Biden's nudie photos and that somehow Hunter Biden being naked and a drug addict in 2019. That's what we need to be talking about every day. And that's why the legacy media is so utterly pathetic. Just listen to Donald Trump in his own words. When asked at that so-called town hall, why did you take those documents? Here's what he said.
We have a lot more voters' questions, I should note, in here in New Hampshire to get to, but I also want to talk about some of the other investigations that you're facing. We talked about others at the top, but one of those is the special counsel's investigation into classified documents that were found at Mar-a-Lago. Why did you take those documents with you when you left the White House?
I had every right to under the Presidential Records Act. You have the Presidential Records Act. I was there and I took what I took, and it gets declassified. Biden, on the other hand, he has 1,850 boxes. He had boxes sent to Chinatown, where they don't speak even English in that Chinatown we're talking about.
I got to stop you right there.
Nobody talks about him. They talk about us. Just so you understand, I had every right to do it. I didn't make a secret of it. You know, the boxes.
Here's Donald Trump lying about President Obama at that so-called town hall about the documents. Play the clip.
This act is not criminal. I took the documents. I'm allowed to. You know who else took them? Obama took them. Nixon took them.
Obama
Reagan
did not
took
take documents.
Oh, he didn't?
The difference here that I'd like to note, the National Archive says that President Obama
even Jimmy Carter,
take documents.
even Mike Pence had some documents, and he's a very honorable guy.
You referenced
But you know
Biden.
who took them more than anybody is Joe Biden. He has 1,800 boxes. And nobody even knows where they are.
You know that.
1,800. And nobody talks about him.
Mr. President.
Here, Donald Trump says, nope, I don't have them, but I have the absolute right to if I wanted to. Play the clip.
At the House. Now, why hasn't the FBI raided Biden?
But I just explained to you why. No. It's because he's the one, they alerted the government that they had those documents and had them come and get the documents from his house. My question for you, though, when it comes to documents, do you still have any classified documents in your possession?
Are you ready?
Do you?
No, I don't have anything. I have no classified documents. And by the way, they become automatically declassified when I took them. But
No, you have to declassify
Let me
them.
ask you a question. Why is it that Biden had 9 boxes in Chinatown?
So, CNN, the mystery, huh? Who done it? Who done it? I remain puzzled by this enigma, if you will. Come on. And this is it's just disgusting, treasonous, traitorous behavior. I mean, you have a MAGA Republican Party that's just full-blown in Vladimir Putin's pocket. Full-blown in Vladimir Putin's pocket. I'm Ben Meiselas. This is the MeidasTouch Network. Hit subscribe. We'll keep you updated as we learn more about this story. Hit subscribe right now and check us out at patreon.com/MeidasTouch.
Hey Midas Mighty, love this report? Continue the conversation by following us on Instagram @MeidasTouch to keep up with the most important news of the day. What are you waiting for? Follow us now.